Coming at you super late as per usual, but I am very excited to announce watching one of my favorite films, one of my favorite horror movies actually, to be exact, because it's spooky season. Happy October. Sorry I'm back, what is it, like a couple months later? I don't think it's been that long. But yeah, in celebration of spooky season, we are going to be watching one of my favorite films, Jennifer's Body, today for this showing of 𝐹𝒾𝓁 Movie Club. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting Jennifer's Body up on the projector. Hopefully I can get some good footage of it, but the projector this time around is like super delayed, like more delayed than it's ever been. And I would say it was like a little delayed before, but now it's kind of like becoming a bit of an issue. So I might have to possibly try and get like my partner over here to see if he can maybe help me fix it. Hopefully that's possible. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But for now we're just gonna do the best we can. I obviously also have my computer, so there's that. All hope is not lost. Things are going to be okay. And I also want to do a little art, just for funsies. Who is she? This Virgo here is not doing something for the sake of productivity. Who is she? But yeah, so I just wanted to like do a little work with my oil pastels for fun. Yeah, and then watch the movie, and I think that's it. So hopefully you're down and you're along for the ride. But yeah, wearing this top in honor of Jen's prom, homecoming, school dance, whatever dress in the film, because I was looking at some stills from the film, and it's like this black and white, it's like this white organza gown with like black lace, like, and like all around it. It almost reminds me of like those Civil War era dresses without like the huge hoop skirts underneath, and I'm just like, why? But I was like living for the black and white and understanding like the symbology of like that color scheme for her character, especially at that point in the film. But yeah, I was like, you know, I can put a little fit together like that. But yeah, so that's a shout out there.
Teenage hormones. But after the killings began, I started to feel we're not even at the academy yet.
Come on. Yeah, I'm on course for real.
Are you gonna cuff me?
Oh, don't do that. Okay, I'm here.
Maybe they're just boys. Morsels. We have all this power. Don't you know that these things? These are like smart bombs. Okay? You point them in the right direction and shoot. It's real. Hi. Alright.
Okay, so just popping in at the beginning here. Loving, and this is just like a quick aside, but I love like the misogyny that is basically the inciting incident, because it's like, had he not assumed that Jennifer was a virgin based on just like explicitly misogynistic terms and assumptions, and a vulgar, like vile mindset, although of course he's supposed to be like a Satan worshipping villain who's a lead singer in a band, essentially. And I am talking about 𝐹𝒾𝓁, who's the lead singer in the band Low Shoulder that Jennifer Check and her bestie Needy Lesnicki go to see at this like dive bar in the country situation called Melody Lane, I think. Which is like sus, and Needy like clocks that immediately. Like, why are you even here in the middle of nowhere, like playing at this place? It's super odd. But yeah, just him being essentially like grotesque, and his assumption of like a young woman is what essentially is the downfall of like all of these characters, including himself. So love that, love to see it.
What's wrong with you? Besides the obvious surface flaws. I knew it was real. Know anything today?
It's real.
Hi, hello. Okay, so we're like, I don't know, not quite halfway through, but basically Jennifer has demonified after her tragic actual murder and death. And a detail that I didn't notice is like, well, first of all, I've always like realized that like Needy is like such a good friend to her at like the beginning of their story together, which may or may not be because they're in love. But either way, I'm an ally. I hope they're in love, even though if they were, this ended very tragically for them, so maybe never mind. But because of that, Needy is like very attuned to Jennifer's needs. She like is very attuned to Jennifer as a person, and like her vibe and like her aura. Like that scene where she knows when she's about to be there, like seconds before she like rings the doorbell and arrives, and Chip is like, that's so fucking creepy. Her boyfriend Chip, Needy's boyfriend Chip. I loved that. And then also this moment where like she is like being such a good friend to Jennifer despite it being clear that like something is very wrong because Jennifer's just like, I don't know, appeared in her house and like vomited up spiky black goo by the gallon, which is super not normal. But Babe is still being so nice, and she's like, oh my god, Jen. And she goes up to her and puts her hand on her arm, like down towards her wrist. And I think like in that moment, because like Amanda Seyfried, like in that moment, like pauses and then like looks up. And I feel like in that moment, they're like trying to communicate that she doesn't have a pulse, maybe. And that in that moment, it was like being made clear that Jennifer like wasn't alive anymore. And when she put her hand on her arm, she could either feel that she didn't have a pulse or she was like very cold, like something like that. But either way, after that moment, Needy like gets up, like she springs up away from Jennifer, like off the floor, and like runs to grab her phone to like dial 911. And then Jennifer like comes up behind her and like shoves her up against the wall and basically like is like, do you feel scared? I think because the demon that like resides within her after that like whatever ritual the Diablo shoulder did on her when they mistakenly thought that she was a virgin got like implanted into her. I think that demon like needs people to be feeling fear when it feeds on people in order to be sustained and like regain its life force. So that's why it like, I think that's not the, I don't think that's the first time it asked that question in the film, or that is the first time it asked that question, but it's not the only time it asked that question in the film. So I like noticed that. I thought that was interesting. But she's like, are you scared? And Needy says yes. And then she goes to like go in for the kill, and then she's like, wait, this is my bestie. Oh no. And then she like dips out. We like come all the way full circle to where she's like murdered also that like football boy, and you find out she murdered that little like exchange student boy too who was at that bar. R.I.P. poor boy. But yeah, so she's like body count up, aura up, W's for the demon, just doing numbers. And yeah, I just like really love how engaging this film is, and I absolutely love that fucking insane tracking shot or whatever it is. It's like a mega zoom in when she's like decided that that football boy or whatever, that athlete boy, is her prey, and she's wearing that like little yellow getup, which, by the way, fun fact lore about me, I owned that top. I owned that fucking zip-up vest with the white and yellow stripes. I swear to fucking God, I don't know what happened to it, but I owned it in middle school, so it was age appropriate. But I used to have that. Anyway, that shot is insane. Like how fast and how far and how high up it goes, like, and comes down. It's like on a, like the camera's like at the top of a roller coaster and comes down and gets off like right in front of them, and then the scene starts. Nutty. Yeah, I looked up the director, I believe, because Diablo Cody is actually like not the director, or she's like the co-director, one or the other. She wrote this film, but the director, I believe her name is 𝐹𝒾𝓁 or something. I'll have to look that up, but something like that. But you're not. Oh my god, okay, so I'm dead at like this boy asking Jennifer on a date who like kind of had a vibe with Needy, who clearly was making her boyfriend, what's his name, Chip, feel some sort of way. But anyway, he totally asked out Jennifer, which just like makes sense. She looks like a goth, very, I was gonna say goth fairy queen, but I almost want to say like a goth goddess. That's what Megan Fox looks like. Like, I'm sure when that boy like imagines his queen, like Megan Fox is who he imagines. So I understand. But he like asked her out, and then like when he pulls up to this crib that's clearly not lived in, not only does he like go out of his way to like try to like see if she's there, he breaks in like through a window to get in there to see if she's there. I would have, if I was him, I would have just assumed that she was pranking me and like left. She didn't even like, he was like calling her, like, I think, I don't know if he was calling her on the phone or if he was calling her like physically, but she didn't even like respond. And then he like broke into this like bando or whatever, and like I'm like, bro, this could have been a trap. This could have been a trap house. Who knows? And he like breaks a window down and goes in, and I'm like, I was rooting for you. I love you. You're so adorable. You're so cute. But like, you might have deserved what came, because why would you, like, this is clearly not where she lives. And in addition to that, like, she isn't even trying that hard to get you in there. And in addition to that, it like looks horrifying and dangerous because you were not making smart choices, kiddo. God bless. But we love Needy like putting it together, and also me putting it together, because like during the sex scene that she's having with Chip, she's like, unfortunately, very Rosemary's Baby, having visions of this like demon situation with Jennifer attacking this emo boy. I don't remember his name. And the cute emo boy. She's seeing that while she's having sex with Chip, and she sees Jennifer say like, I need you frightened, I need you hopeless, and then she like literally repeats the line hopeless. So I think that's the movie trying to tell us that that is in fact like the fear and whatnot is in fact what the demon like feeds on. Also kind of wondering, because this is like before Needy gets any like real contact that's like beyond skin to skin, I suppose, with this demon. And she's like, I wonder, I kind of think she's like a little psychic. I feel like she's a little witchy, like on her own, without, you know, the ensuing demon intertwining, I don't know, connection that develops when her and Jennifer get into a tussle. But that's for later. But yeah, so I was just popping in to say that. Let's continue on, shall we?
through. I care about you so much. You didn't deserve all of you.
Hi. Oh my god. Okay, so we're finally coming towards the end. We've just had like the big conflict at the end between Jennifer and Needy, because Jennifer has decided to steal Needy's boyfriend needlessly. But I'm sorry, it's late. But it's just funny because like Needy does point out, like, why Chip, of everyone that you could go for, like, you're Megan Fox essentially. She's like, is it just to tick me off, or are you just really insecure? And she points out that she needs like laxatives at this point to stay skinny, and how she hasn't been socially relevant in like 2 years, etc., etc. Just like all of this shade and tea. And you start to understand like the kind of person Jennifer really is. Not to mention she's been just like disgustingly, like, sociopathically narcissistic and like manipulative and gaslighty this entire film towards everyone. And I never really like paid attention to how she uses specific tactics and like employs them over and over again to like manipulate people into getting what she wants, essentially. So I think that's funny that she got read for fucking filth by the end by her bestie, who has a man who you have to take, girl. Because you eat everybody who like you. No, I'm kidding. But rest in peace, Colin, though. That was the cute emo boy who died. But yeah, we're finally coming to a head. I will say I definitely noticed some casual and extremely brief tangential moments of casual racism that felt very early 2000s, just like some of the lines in this movie, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like, she says something like crazy to this like Spanish man for some reason in Spanish earlier in the movie, to be like an asshole specifically. Like, was that necessary? Probably not. I feel like there are really weird comments made about the foreign exchange student, Ahmed, I think his name might have been. I can't remember. Other than that, yeah, we're wrapping this up. We're putting a bow on it. Happy Halloween. Happy spooky season. I'm gonna finish this movie up, and then I will come back with my closing thoughts. I didn't realize it was recording before. But yeah, so here's the piece that I've been working on this entire time. It's just like some abstract nonsense, but I thought I'd throw it in there. This is what I've been doing. Okay. Me reacting to Megan Fox and then seeing Adam Brody's character's fuck-ass tattoo, which I have a very similar one to. And flipping it off and then seeing Amanda Seyfried. I'm like, oh my god, yes. Anyway, so that was Jennifer's Body. Yeah, had an amazing time. I noticed a few really cool things at the end that just made me be like, cinema, so cool. So I never noticed before that, like, in the end, when she learns how to hover, it's like out of spite, because there's that line where Jennifer's like flying around in that weird pool room when Chip is dying after she attacked him. And she's floating, and Chip's like, she can fly. And Amanda Seyfried's character, Needy, is like, she's just hovering. It's not that impressive. And Jennifer's like, why are you such a fucking player here? Anyway, Needy learns how to do it by the end of the film because, like, she got some demonic transference powers, I guess, when Jennifer bit her in their final crazy ass confrontation at the end when she stabs and murders Jennifer. And yeah, so she like gets herself thrown into solitary and then floats to the top of it or whatever and escapes. I feel like she was like, I'm gonna fucking learn how to do that. Jennifer could do that, I can fucking do that. And she did. A queen. Also, after she escaped, she found like the knife. Well, first of all, she found like a stream off the side of the road that was a low shoulder, which is the name of the band. Creek of like drainage water off the side of like the low shoulder of the road, and she's walking along it after she escapes, and she sees like this massive crazy ass knife that they made a point to have a line about in like the scene where Adam Brody's character, like the lead singer of Low Shoulder, is murdering Jennifer with his bandmates, and they're like creepily singing some song about, I think, Jenny, I got your number. Oh, so weird. But he like is like holding up this massive knife right before they do it, and the bandmate's like, dude, that's an epic murder knife. I don't even know if I said this. So they live in this place called Devil's Kettle, and it's a waterfall that like goes into a massive like hole, and the hole is super deep and it like disappears. So after he stabs Jennifer to death, he throws that like giant like hunting knife, I think that he said it was, into the hole to get rid of the murder weapon. And that's also the waterfall. The Devil's Kettle waterfall is where the scientists were like testing it and dropping balls down to see like, where does this hole where the waterfall goes into, where does it go? So anyway, so you really get like a good look at it, and she's walking along the low shoulder of the road at the end of the movie, and it's like there in the water, like off the low shoulder. And she like picks it up, and not only is it there, but like there's also like these little balls from the beginning of the movie when they're talking, or when she's talking about how scientists like dropped stuff down there, and they show them dropping little balls. She's like, they don't know what it goes to because it's super deep, and they're like testing it. Maybe it's a parallel universe, but also maybe it's just a really deep hole. And lo and behold, she finds where the hole leads to, and it's just like, it lets out off this like low shoulder on the road somewhere. And it's like balls that the scientists threw down the holes, and the giant hunting knife after the main guy of Low Shoulder like stabbed Jennifer to death. Our queen diva figured that out by the end of the movie, and she found her own murder weapon. Or recycled rather, and she gets like picked up off the side of the road by some dude, and like is like, oh, I'm going to go find this band, it's gonna be their last show, and murders him with that knife. Queen diva behavior, in my opinion. And that's the end. Iconic. Yes. Yeah, so those were just some fun things that I noticed towards the end, but anywho, it's been, as per usual, a super late night, a super long one. Don't say the sun this time though, but it's late AF and it is the morning, so I'm gonna go. But this has been really fun, and I hope you enjoyed spooky season. Thank you for being here for the October showing of Film Angel Movie Club. This was so fun. But yeah, I once again don't know when I'll be back. I'll try my hardest to make it soon. I think I have faith. I have faith. I will see you guys so soon in the next one. But until we meet again, yeah, goodbye, my angels. TTYL.